Hello everyone, I'm back. I know I've made about 3 videos where I've said I'm back, but I'm not going to make any promises. I am going to try and upload at least 1 video per week. I'm wondering if one of the reasons I've not been able to keep up with myself is that I am burning out a bit. You'll have guessed by the video title that I am going to discuss the fact that I have been diagnosed with PTSD, or post-traumatic stress disorder. Now, a lot of people will relate this to the armed forces and soldiers coming back having seen horrific things and experiencing flashbacks. But did you know that it is a lot more common in the emergency services? That was a shock to me. So PTSD for me has been flashbacks, and they can happen at any time, any place, and triggered by random everyday things, but were things that were present when you had a trauma. For example, if I get a paper cut and there's a drop of blood, that sometimes can take me back to a very traumatic surgery that I had where I woke up covered in blood. Or if I am out and about and I see a guy of a similar height and size as my children's hospital doctor wearing a checked shirt like he did, that might also be a trigger for me to have a flashback. And that has been really affecting me on the everyday. It has meant that I have not wanted to go out, I've not even wanted to look at my emails, I have felt so helpless. I have started talking to a psychologist, and she specialises in clinical health psychology in palliative care, and she has actually said to me that it would actually be odd if I wasn't experiencing the things that I am because of all the traumas I've been through. It's your brain's way of coping with things, and I guess it's only been sort of the last 6-8 months when Mum and I have had to stop fighting, so everyone's understood and I've been diagnosed with things. Everyone's on the same page now, but that kind of stopping fighting, that putting down of tools and going and breathe, has kind of allowed for all my traumas to sneak back in. So that has been extremely difficult to cope with. It has made me not want to do anything, and it's just been ridiculously hard. It has been so bad to the extent that things I should be happy about, I've just felt empty and no emotion. I got this published at the beginning of this year. I had my launch in May, and while I was there it was amazing and I felt the love, and it was the first time in ages I actually felt happy. But afterwards I just went back to feeling kind of empty, and that is why I haven't replied to any of the international postage inquiries made about this. I am going to start getting back to you, and I'm also going to reply to the people that have sent me letters. I am absolutely ashamed that I haven't replied to them for a good while. I have just sent my first batch of 5 out. I guess I just haven't been in the headspace. It's been really difficult to do anything. So an example of a time that I haven't really been experiencing what you'd expect was my poetry pamphlet was reviewed in a magazine called Acumen, and it was such a wonderful review. I could not have asked for a nicer review, but because I was kind of experiencing these symptoms, I didn't even share it. I think I only showed it to 3 or 4 people. I mean, I am going to share it later, but that's kind of how bad it's been. I've not really been able to experience much joy with things. These are in the description if you would like to get one, no pressure, they're only a £5. But I do want to reassure everyone that it is not just you that I haven't been able to talk with, and I just want to reiterate that because I do understand that some people, I think, have lost their patience with me and don't want to talk to me anymore, which is fine. People I'm talking to online, but it's also very hard because yes, I wasn't necessarily replying to those messages because my headspace was so bad, but I was still sort of reading them and taking them on board. I basically haven't been on top of things, and I am really trying to get back on top of my life because I want my friends and my life back to how it was. It's been extremely difficult without those people, but also with those people, because I have just had this in my mind all the time. I know I've always said that poetry is my therapy, but I think I should rephrase that. Poetry has been my coping mechanism until I went to see a psychologist, and one that I really connected with. I think to a point poetry is amazing and it has sorted me out and sort of kept me going up until now, but I also think I need to look at my life outside of poetry and talk through the flashbacks and experiences I've been having. So that's a little explanation of where I have actually been. I finally desperately need your help with something. You all know I have a condition called EDS, that's Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, and my joints pop out very, very easily every 2 to 3 weeks. Basically, a hospice doctor and another palliative care consultant have tried their damnedest to get me a medication called Entonox prescribed. Because my joints dislocate easy, they relocate easy, but that does not make it any less painful. So I put the dislocations back into place myself, otherwise me and my mum would never ever leave A&E. Some CCGs, so CCG stands for Clinical Commissioning Group, will prescribe it, but my clinical commissioning group, which is Morecambe Bay, will not. So I have set up a petition to basically get them to prescribe it, because it just feels so unfair when we're already coping with so much. I should add that in the time frame that I've been talking about, sort of January to now, my physical health has also got worse and it's deteriorated, and I just feel like we're so on it and coping, they could at least give us a little bit of help. I'm currently putting it back in with some pain relief that just isn't really working. The opiates that I describe in my petition can be really serious and have some really serious consequences for me, especially considering, you know, my gastro conditions. Please, it'll be the pinned comment, please click on that link and first of all sign it. Then through email, through social media, please share that link, but make sure that you put at least a sentence at the top about how you know me or you've watched my channel or something like that, because that is really crucial. It humanises me, it makes people a lot more likely to click on that link. The scary thing is that I will probably need way over 100,000 signatures to get this issue up and off the ground. Now, that is terrifying to me because I've had a massive swell of support around me, but the signatures have kind of been a bit stagnant, so they've sort of finished at 6,500 people signing it, which is amazing. It really is incredible. I'm so fortunate that many people have taken the time to sign it. But if I want my case looked at by the government, or I want an independent advisory group to look at it, I need well over 100,000 signatures. If you have any family members or friends, or if someone owes you a favour and they have a big following or they know a lot of people, it would be incredible if you could please pass that on to them and hopefully get this up off the ground. To be honest, I can't believe that I'm at 6,500 signatures, because I honestly thought there was going to be 3 signatures and that was going to be my mum, my dad and my brother. Now that it's actually got loads of support around it, I do need sort of a push forward and we need to get those numbers up, because dislocations are painful and it's not a pleasurable thing at all to put it back in and then be off my head for hours and hours because I've had to take pain relief that's actually damaging to me. If you can please help me get the word out there, I would be so grateful. I am going to try and get back on here, but I'm not going to make promises, because I've been making promises the last 6 months and I've not been posting the content that I want to be. So I'm just going to take it really slow and steady and see how I go, really. If you like this video, please like it. If you feel you can share it, please do. Although I would prefer you shared the petition, but you know, I wouldn't mind the video being shared either. If you feel like it, please leave me a comment talking about what you've been up to the last 6 months. You can send me any queries that you might have about international postage to hannahwritesablog@gmail.com. I am going to be starting writing my blog again soon. That's another thing that I've fallen out of. I just really want to get back on track, and I guess being upfront and honest about why I haven't been able to cope and sort of keep up with my workload is the first step to that. So thank you ever so much for watching. I'll see you again soon. Bye.